This is John Zaninovich. Welcome to Move My Mass. You'll be hearing from great guests talk about balancing life and being fit. Hey Blake, welcome to Move My Mass.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's I've been watching you on Instagram. You work down in our Long Beach office. I'm up here in Bakersfield. We work together on the Razzle Dazzle grape program together.
Yeah.
So I don't see you a lot. In fact, I see you like once a year, maybe.
Yeah, it's with COVID. It's been about a year since we saw each other on the last show. So,
but as I see you post, I'm like, this guy is totally changing his body. I had no clue what you weighed before, and I have no clue what you weigh now. But your physical transformation has been amazing.
Yeah.
So why don't you tell me a little bit how you went through it, and what made you decide to make the change and what brought it all on?
Yeah, it's funny. I've always been a person where I've been able to hold my weight well. So even though, I do gain some weight in my face, most people, they attribute my size to, you can hide it well in a suit and in a shirt and tie. So they're like, oh, you've been working out. And in reality, underneath that was a very heavy set person.
Yeah. So that'll keep you going for a little while when you can hide it well.
Yeah, it's really easy. It's amazing what you can do when you gain weight everywhere and not just in your stomach or in one single area. And that's kind of how my weight gain happened, where it was in my legs, it was in my, I was broad.
Yeah.
So it was easy to look like a quote unquote bodybuilder when you're not wearing tight clothes.
Right.
So I got up to my heaviest that I've ever been at. It was 290. And that was back in 2018.
Okay. Yeah, just a few years ago.
Yeah, it wasn't very long. Pretty scary, to know that you're almost tipping 300 pounds.
Yeah.
And it's not because of muscle.
And see, knowing you, I would have never guessed that you ever got to 290.
Yeah.
Seeing you.
A lot of people don't.
If I had to guess, I don't know, 260.
Right.
If I would have, I've never guessed at it, but I don't remember you being 290.
Right. Which, and like I said, that was a very low point of standing on that scale, and just, there's hopelessness, and you're like, what am I going to do?
Yeah.
And you see all the TV shows of My Fat Life or whatever it is, the morbidly obese, and you're like, at the rate I'm going, you're in the morbidly obese scales now of body comp, everything.
Yeah.
Or a doctor can tell you, in your 20s that you're not going to live till you're 40.
Right.
So it was a really scary thought of just having that. I knew there was something that needed to change. I just, even though I had a whole background of sports and athleticism, there was no light at the end of the tunnel.
Right.
Because you felt like you dug a hole so deep. It was kind of like, where do I even begin?
So I'm assuming was it the typical combination of events that made you dig that hole, like stress in life, emotional eating, maybe, obviously overeating. That's the only way to put on weight is to eat more than you're expending. But was it the typical, or was there, what got you there besides, you overate, but what were
it was a little
issues?
Of everything. Yeah. So, I played football, and the old mentality of sports, I was a lineman, so it was get big. And, coaches back in the early 2000s, they didn't understand nutrition. They didn't understand. It was just powerlifting, eat 15 slices of white bread, drink a 64-ounce glass of milk, and have a can of beans.
Yeah.
And get big and just be a presence in your hole of the line.
Right.
That's all it was. There was no JJ Watt, and I was a defensive lineman, so there was none of that speed. It was the bus and those kind of guys on the defensive side.
Yeah, take up space,
and just once again fill that hole, and be bigger than the O lineman that was in front of you.
Yeah.
So, so that was my way of eating before. There was, like I said, there was no nutrition. So, trying to relearn all that, plus never having a true workout program where, you can truly work out for physique and health.
Yeah.
It was just mainly size and bulk,
right?
And power.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was like my history of understanding any type of the fitness world.
Okay.
Right.
Makes sense.
So went straight from that to, I was working at the store level in retail. I've been in produce my whole life. So that was easy, stocking loads, lifting 50-pound boxes, keeping active.
Yeah.
That was before the watch days where you can, count your steps, but guarantee was probably doing 25, 30,000 steps a day.
Yeah.
Those were the old days of Sprouts where it was all about just running and gunning produce and just building massive displays, right?
Yeah.
So very active still. So went from sports to active work life, and then jumped into corporate on the buy side of Sprouts. So you went from store level to desk job.
Okay.
So right around that time also, we were doing a direct sales company that, before all these other direct sales companies. And the type of program it was low fat. You were way under eating with our calories, but once again, there was no knowledge of true, counting calories and actually knowing what your macros were supposed to be in a day. It was just eat less. I mean, we look back at my wife and I, my wife's, her name's Susie. We look back at old photos that she used to post on Facebook because she was a person that likes to post her meals.
Yeah.
And we would just shake our head because it's like the portion of protein was like, a silver dollar.
Yeah.
And it's like greens and there was like green beans. Yeah. And it's like, what were we doing? And you look at calorie deficit and you're like, we're well under eating probably 1,500 calories a day.
Right.
Right. With no fat and none of the other good proteins and all the other things you're supposed to have.
Yeah.
So was able to, be fairly fit and, look back at photos. People thought I was, they would always make comments that I was sick. They're like, are you all right? Or,
you look gaunt probably.
Yeah. Skin was a little pale and lost a lot of muscle mass. So, there was a lot of questions of like how we were losing weight.
So you were approaching the skinny fat phase.
Yes. The very like unhealthy, you look pasty type deal. So yeah, we had that and then kind of stopped that diet and then, went the full reversal. We lived in Texas at the time. So, you don't have your fair share of, there's not a lack of bad food choices in Texas.
Yeah. Easy to go get that barbecue,
the Tex-Mex, Mexican food out there. I mean, it's all amazing. And so switching from very low calorie to well overeating, then going from active to sitting at the desk all day long.
Yeah.
Compounding stress. And it's funny because, it wasn't overnight. You don't gain weight overnight.
Right.
It creeps up on you. Mm-hmm. And then, next thing you know, your pants are a little tight. So you go to the store and go buy a new pair of slacks. And then it happens again. You go buy a new pair.
Yeah.
So that I laugh at the journey that we've had over the last 2 years of where I've been able to lose 60 pounds. I haven't had the issue of trying to find clothes because I've had it at every stage of fatness.
They've been in your
So
closet.
now I'm doing the reversal.
Yeah.
Now I'm at the end where I'm like at the smallest of where I was before. So it's like, all right, any other size or body recomp, I'm going to start having to buy some new clothes.
The other direction, which is a good thing.
It's a good thing.
Right.
So yeah, that's where we went, where, 2013 to 2018, that 5-year span was just living in gluttony and laziness.
Right.
No activity and just pounding on the pounds.
And when did the switch happen? When did the mental switch happen, I should say?
I've listened a lot. The mental switch really happened when, I have 2 daughters. They're 10 and 8. Mm-hmm. They watch all the superhero movies, the Thors and the Captain Americas, and
no shortage of fit men in the movie.
Exactly. And we live in Southern California. We live in the Orange County area. So you go to the beach, you go to the pool. We're sunny 99% of the time, so you can go pretty much any day. I got not tired, but it was just disheartening to hear them always talk about other people as strong and fit. Yeah. Even though I've never lost my strength. I was always,
you're strong.
But, they would be nice, but it's like, hey, Dad, your belly's kind of big, and they would make comments like that where it's like that was that sort of driving factor of being like, hey, when's enough going to be enough to where you can let your daughters look at you as the hero. And then, just with all the other stuff that's happened in our world, it's kind of that thought of, if we're in an emergency situation, something happens, am I going to be able to have both girls in my arms, picking them up, trekking up hills, mountain, whatever needs to happen in emergency situations?
Can you take care of
able
business?
to physically be able to take care of business?
Right.
So there's like a lot of switches. And then there was this program called 75 Hard, which
I was looking forward to get.
Yeah. So
I knew you were doing it. I was following you, and I know a few people have done it. And I think you're one of the. I think I only know one other person that made it all the way to the end.
Yes.
Of 75 days, and tell me all about that.
So it's funny because a lot of people, they attribute. I think they hear that it's a program, and they automatically assume it's a workout program or it's a nutrition program or anything. But it's like when you really dive into it, what it just is, it's a mental fortitude program where it's meant to just chip away at your laziness and just lackadaisy acceptance of life. So, there's multiple. You do multiple things throughout the day, whether it's working out 2 times a day, you have to drink water, a gallon of water. You pick a diet. Once again, it's not a nutrition program. So if you want to be keto, you want to be, I don't know, paleo, or you want to have the typical bodybuilder diet.
Yeah.
You stick to it. It's not saying, you're not going to be keto and then go, well, I can have a piece of cake on Friday because I worked out 5 days a week. No. You're going to stick to your diet for 75 days.
Right.
That's the diet you chose. You stick to it.
Yeah.
No cheat meals. Obviously alcohol does impair, it's a leading factor to a lot of people's bad choices. So, you have a couple of drinks. Do you smoke a cigarette? Do you eat that extra bag of chips? Like, what do you do?
Right.
It's no cheat meals, no alcohol, work out 2 times a day, drink water. You have to read I read 15 pages. So that's easy because I love to read now that I'm in my later years of life. So you pick a book. It has to be some type of book that will get you further along in life. It can't be, a smut book,
right. So, an inspirational, positive book.
Right.
Yeah.
And I believe I've heard Andy Frisella, he's a CEO of First Form, which is a nutrition company. He's the one that created 75 Hard. I've heard him say before, I don't think it actually is like in writing, but I've heard him talk about on his podcast saying like, obviously it can't be the Bible because you should be reading, he says you read that every single day. So it's like one of those things where a lot of people try to find loopholes where it's like, well, if I can listen to an audiobook, and it's like, no, you have to have an old school book. I think you can do like a Kindle.
Yeah.
You can do
as long as you're reading.
As long as you're reading something, your brain's working, you're taking time, you're actually showing that you can dedicate time towards that.
Right.
So, that's the program in general. And what it really is, and progress photo. You have to take a photo every single day.
Now, are you supposed to journal during that program or no?
No.
Okay.
He does have a thing where, part of his other like daily tasks, that's separate than 75 Hard.
Okay, I gotcha.
Yeah. So, that kind of goes hand. If you're already doing all those other things and you're doing, if you have some type of like planner or daily planner, most people's journal as well.
Okay.
And keep track. And it's obviously a way to keep track of your progress too. Where, how did you feel today?
Right.
So like that's a bonus, I guess, so to speak. But it goes back to that where a lot of those things are redundant. Like, do you really have to take a photo today? Yeah, you do. And the way he incorporates it, like, do you really want to go pick up that piece of trash that you walk by? Yeah, you should.
Create the habit.
Yeah,
create the discipline.
Right. And you set that standard.
Yeah.
So then the people around you will set that standard as well. And you set it for them. And they could either rise to the occasion, or most likely they will start fading out of your life. So
at what point during the 75 days hard? Okay, so before 75 days hard, were you already working out quite a bit and watching what you ate, or was that how you jumped into your new routine?
No, I mean, we eat pretty. My biggest thing, now that I'm learning about nutrition and counting, your macros and everything.
Yeah.
Us as a family, my wife Susie loves to cook. We don't eat out that very often. That's a big treat for us. Mine was just mass. I was eating way too much.
Gotcha.
So, so we ate healthy. I just ate a lot of it.
Right.
You know what I mean? So whether we're having tacos or whatever, instead of knowing that by dinner time, because of what I eat for breakfast and lunch, I should only have 2, I was having 4 or 5.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally get you.
So in a normal setting, yes, it's a healthy dinner, but when you are...
It's still calories in.
Calories in. Yeah. Exactly. So yeah, I mean, we've always ate healthy, so to speak.
Okay.
I mean, not eating pizzas and all that, that was never an issue for us as a family. So yeah, I mean, leading up to 75 hard, we did our walks. We walked around our neighborhood. We live in a very hilly area. Mm-hmm. We live by Saddleback Mountain, which is south of Orange County. And so we kept active in that sense. So, adding in an actual strenuous workout wasn't like I was going from the couch to the gym.
Gotcha. Okay.
You know what I mean? But
so there was some moderation there before you started 75
exactly hard. Yeah. We have 2 kids, 2 dogs, so there was some small form of being active. But now we have our Fitbits and our step counters. So it's like if I wasn't intentional, there would be days where I only put in 3,000 steps, maybe 5 on a good day.
Right.
So it's like, that was a big eye opener of being like, okay, if you don't walk around, we call it our morning walk. We have another walk. I mean, the way our master plan community is, you can break it up in sections. Mm-hmm. So the girls, my daughters are pretty creative. So there's a morning walk, which is our quick walk that we just need to get the dogs a little bit tired, get the girls tired. We have one called the spider tree walk, where it's this huge, I don't even know what type of tree it is, but during springtime, it's loaded with these, looks like man-eating spiders.
Oh, yeah.
And then they have an outer loop, which is like our hard, that's the one, the grade on some of the mountains that we're walking up. It's pretty tough. But yeah, we live in an apartment complex, so we have our gym downstairs. Mm-hmm. So that, I had that access that I never used before 75 hard.
Okay.
So once I actually had to force myself to work out, that's when I jumped down and started going down to the gym. So, and it was a lot easier too, because COVID, obviously all the gyms were shut down, but that wasn't. That was opened up.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what'd you weigh when you started 75 hard?
75 hard, I got down because, with changing some eating habits and before we actually started hardcore working out, I started 75 hard and this last journey that I've gone on and I haven't looked back since, I was 272.
All right.
So I had lost, what's that?
18 pounds.
18 pounds.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So that's when I tell people like my total weight loss from 290, I've been staying in the range of 228, 230 right now. Mm-hmm. So total weight loss is about 60 pounds from my mentally my lowest point.
Right.
But yeah, since 75 hard, it's from 272 to 230. So
gotcha. How long after you started 75 hard did you start to notice the differences from that program?
Oh, it's fun. You automatically, like the way I am, I have almost reverse body dysmorphia, where I look in the mirror and I'm thinking I'm great,
I love that. Yeah.
And it's like, let's not look at the sideways profile. Let's look at this profile and, some good shadowing and stuff. You're like, you're looking good. And it's like, my wife's over in the corner like, you need to trim that up a little bit. But
that's a good thing to have that mental attitude, though. That's a great thing.
It's almost like a fall.
So for you, right after the first workout, you're like, hey, man, this is working.
Yeah.
I'm good.
I see lumps. I see muscle. I see a vein.
I dig it.
So yeah, I have that reverse body dysmorphia. So looking at the photos, you could start seeing, I mean, obviously you have the bloat, you have the water weight immediately. So, I mean, you can tell within the first couple of weeks of where a lot of that bloat, that water weight was starting to, go away pretty quick.
Yeah.
I know, once I finished, it took me until about the end of like around day 60, day 75 of where I noticed I was making big changes in my physique.
Okay.
But once again, I didn't like, I don't think I was pushing myself hard enough in the gym. So I started in my mind getting to that point where I was getting too skinny. And that kind of freaked me out a little bit of like, okay, let's get educated a little bit more. Let's figure out what we need to do because I'm not going back to skinny Blake.
Right.
I'll look like a big bobblehead because I don't have the smallest head. So it needs to be on a bigger frame.
Yeah.
So yeah, I finished the 75 hard the first round. And then the second round, my wife, Susie just got done being her training to be a personal trainer.
Uh-huh.
So she started writing me some actual programs and not just doing, my bro workouts that I knew from back in the day of what you can search on Men's Health and all the other knowledge that I had. So that's where she really started pushing me. So we stepped into round 2 of 75 hard to do it all over again. And I got about...
And what was this gap between the first round and second round?
I think I gave myself like a week.
Okay. So you started it again.
Yeah, I started right over.
Gotcha.
Because it was like, the first form themselves as a company had some competitions, transformation challenges and stuff that I was going to try to get into and win a prize or whatever, or become a first form athlete. That second round is when I really started throwing in real workout programs and really pushed myself. Because like I said, even though I finished the first round, it was like, mentally you're like, yeah, you did it. You did everything. You didn't cut corners. You truly finished the program, but let's see what you can do to push yourself. Yeah. And to really get it to the next level of your physique.
Right. So, and you made it 55 days on the...
Yeah.
And that's not because you wanted to quit or it got too hard. You made the decision intentionally to stop.
Yeah, we made the decision intentionally. Susie, just because she's been learning, through her program of being a personal trainer. Mm-hmm. I mean, she can't call herself a nutritionalist because, that's a whole different schooling that you have to go through.
Right.
Her whole thing was 75 hard's great to make that mental switch. But once you make that switch, there's no one plan fits all.
Correct.
In anything.
That is for sure.
Right. So it's like, for her to drink a gallon of water, she's like, I'm a girl. I'm only 135 pounds. That's going to deplete a lot of my minerals, a lot of things. So I shouldn't be drinking a gallon of water like you at 230.
Right.
Like, why are we both doing this? And, so there's a lot of things where it's like, I felt mentally, I didn't need that oomph anymore because it was a lot of the stuff I was already doing.
Okay.
So it's like, okay, let's switch this up, and then, it's nice to have, a cocktail every once in a while. If we're traveling or we're entertaining customers, yes, don't engorge yourself and once again, go on that other road.
Right.
But let's live life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Let's be normal or a little closer to normal.
Yeah. Enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
So that's the main reason why we kind of stepped away from it of like, okay, the program's great. And I think a lot of people were, once again, they were associating and they were so fixated on the program itself, where it's like, no, there's a lot of personal decisions you can make as well, where I don't want you, like her, mainly because she has her own following, she didn't want people to use that as another crutch.
Right.
Because, it's just like she has clients that she trains in person, but she's also trying to build it's lipstick in yoga pants.
Right.
Where she wants to be an online coach. because it's that extra voice in the back of your head. But if you don't have her, like her clients in person, if she's not there and you don't work out, then you're using her as a crutch. So if she's training you 3 days a week, but the other 4, you're not doing anything, that's not how it's supposed to be. So,
it's just it's so easy to be in that mental state. If fitness isn't part of your life, but you want to lose weight, until that switch flips mentally, it's easy to look for that crutch.
Right.
Where if I just do this program, I'm going to be fit, everything's going to be right.
Mm-hmm.
I can go back to my old life. Or I'm going to go see my personal trainer 3 days a week. I only have to work when I'm with him or her. After that, go back. Well, maybe, maybe you don't go crazy when you're not around them. But yeah, it's pretty easy for somebody to just say, all I have to do is the things during those times. Whatever 75 Hard says. If I just do those, everything's going to be good. If I just work hard when I'm with my trainer, everything's going to be good.
Right.
It's not good until the mental switch flips and you incorporate it throughout you don't have to be crazy either, but you just can't go get your 1 hour workout in and then go be crazy the rest of the time and expect progress.
Right.
It just doesn't happen.
No. And that's the thing where it's like, if, you have the same mentality you do on the days you work out from the days you don't work out. I mean, it goes back to the whole thing of calories in, calories out. If you're doing a hard, strenuous workout and you think you can have an extra treat, yeah, that's great. You can fit whatever you want into your diet. But if you have that same treat 2 days later when you didn't work out and now you're over 800, 600, 700 calories that day,
yeah.
Once again, it's that switch.
Right.
Or if you're on vacation. So say you don't have your trainer that week because you left somewhere. Are you at least going to try to get some steps in that day? Are you going to try to go get a small workout? You know what I mean? Where it's like you said, it doesn't have to be your whole life, but us as humans, we have to be active because the second you stop is when,
things start getting out of whack.
Yeah. Health-wise, just not even physical-wise, internally too. Whereas like there's way more benefits than just looking good.
The things you can't measure.
Exactly.
Or they can be measured, but not in a mirror or on a scale.
Right. I think our pastor always says it great at our church it's kind of like the whole thing of, do you just go to church on Sunday and you get all fired up? But if you're not constantly reading your Bible, you're not constantly doing the steps Saturday or Monday through Saturday, by the time it's the following Sunday, you're back to square one.
Right.
And then you get all gassed up again, and then you run out of gas by Saturday.
Totally. Yep.
It's just like anything you can look at.
It relates to a lot of things in life.
Right.
So what, first round on 75 Hard, what was the hardest thing to stick with? Or what was the hardest part about it?
Honestly, the funny thing was the photo. Because, that's the first thing you do in the morning.
Yeah.
Remembering to, put some shorts on and, take the photo that can actually be posted online.
Yeah.
That was the biggest thing. And then, the workouts is pretty tough, especially with the having kids.
Doing the 2-a-days.
Yeah. The 2 days is very, because we're in produce. The ag world is very early.
Mm-hmm.
We're in I live an hour from the Long Beach. I live an hour south of our Long Beach office. So I'm already on the road for an hour. So just to get to the office by 6:30, you're leaving by 5.
Yeah.
So what does that mean? If you want an hour workout, backtrack the time.
Right.
You're getting to the point where you're waking up at 3:00 in the morning to get the first workout, which is amazing. That's great. That's easy for me to do. But then it's like you work all day long.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard work. So mentally you're done. Then I'm driving an hour home. So I'm spending 2 hours on the road. You throw in a 10-hour day at the office. Now you're at 12 hours.
Yeah.
So then when you get home, you just want to be with the kids. You want to be with the wife.
Right.
And then it's like, okay, love you, hug you, kiss you, and then let me go throw another workout in.
Right.
Where it's like mentally that really messed with me because, my girls, sometimes we're in the office 6 days a week.
Yeah.
So they're like, Dad, you hear the dad, you always work, Dad, you're always gone. Especially with what I do now compared to my previous, I was on the retail side. I'm obviously on your guys' side of we're sales now. It was a lot easier to take off time to, take a lunch or drive away or, anything. It was a lot easier. There was nobody to really answer to when I was able to make those choices.
Right.
So that was a big mental switch for them of knowing one side of dad's work to now it's always on. That was, and they're at that age where it's 10 and 8. They know.
They know what you're
doing.
It's
not like they're little kids where, they may get a little sad, but I mean, these ones can actually speak up about the way they feel.
Right.
Especially if they don't like something, they're going to tell you.
And that would definitely be the hard part of that program.
Yeah, you feel selfish. But then it goes down to that mentality of what's really selfish. Is it, yes, I could be home.
Yeah.
But if I'm dog dead tired, sitting on the couch, a shell of who I am, probably most likely thinking about work anyways, because you haven't turned it off. So, I mean, it goes back to, or I let my health get completely out of control because I need to, quote unquote, be with the kids now. Am I not going to be there in 10 years and walk them down the aisle?
But yeah, when you're in it and you're doing those 2-a-days, it does feel selfish. And it probably is a little bit, but it's a 75-day program. You had your mission. You were going to go knock this out. Mm-hmm. You knew that it wasn't going to be, all right, I'm going to be doing 2-a-days forever.
Right.
You had a program to stick to. You knew from the beginning that it was about making yourself healthier for you, but also for your kids and your wife. So yeah, it's 75 days. You got through it. You started one again.
Right.
But it's totally, and look at you now,
Yeah.
You just tacked on a lot of years to your life, I guarantee.
Oh yeah. I mean,
and they're gonna be thankful for that later on.
I hope so. I hope they're thankful I'm around for a long time, because I don't plan on going anywhere anytime soon.
But what about the gallon of water a day? I don't know how much water. I drink a lot of water, but I don't measure it.
Right.
I only did one time because you see it all over Instagram, everybody drinking a gallon of water. I'm like, how much do I drink? So I just bought a gallon jug, did it one day, and it was not easy to get through that gallon. I mean, not that I couldn't drink it, but I noticed that I was intentionally reaching it. Man, if I don't reach for it right now, I'm not going to get this gallon down.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I need a gallon a day. I don't know. Do you still drink? Do you drink a gallon a day?
I do. I love water. I was raised on, the old big gold glasses, 64-ounce plastic ones. I don't know what it was, but my dad always, would fill up 2 or 3 of those a day or a night when he came home. So that's how I started drinking water. And it amazes me, when I just observe other people at home, or if they offer you a drink, it's hardly ever water. And for us as a family, we just started buying the what's called the LaCroix or the Bubblies.
Yeah, I'm addicted to those.
Yeah, well, we just started buying that kind of stuff. But even my kids, they'll go for a water first before they go, because that's all we have in our house. So yeah, I have I think it's a Thrive Market water jug type deal, where at the office, I'm filling that up probably 3 or 4 times a day. Yeah. So it's like, to me, that's the easiest part, is drinking the water.
Yeah. It's drinking a lot of water isn't hard for me. I don't think I get to the gallon a day.
Yeah.
I'm probably pretty close, but
I think I measured it out in the beginning. 5 of my Thrive Market water bottles is a gallon.
Okay.
So if I'm drinking 4 at the office, it's a no-brainer when I get it home, because I have another, 2 or 3, 4 glasses. Yeah. So, yeah.
If you worn out the carpet from your desk to the toilet.
Oh, I go, yeah. And that's the thing where
you have a path.
Yeah. Where it's like, that's one of the side effects of drinking a lot of water, is you usually go to the bathroom quite often. So yeah, bad one.
You're no longer on the 75 hard. What's your workout routine like now?
Yeah. So and going back to why we stopped doing the second round, like I said, is because I didn't want to ever get to the point of where we were after we stopped doing our nutrition program. And I went from my active job to my desk job. I didn't do all this hard work just to end 75 hard at the end, and then fall right back into weight gain and everything. So Susie and my big plan of just our fitness and our health going forward is how is it sustainable? It's all about sustainability, right?
That is 100%. That's what this is all about. That's
Right.
what Move My Mass is all about is, being able to do it all so you continue to do it.
Exactly. And then that's what it's kind of disheartening. You have all the different, I guess, fitness gurus out there. They have they're very strong on their opinions, and you see a lot of negative aspects about keto. You see, other people make fun of whatever this diet. It's like, once again, there's nothing of a one size fit all. So, I mean, if somebody like Susie, her acne, just everything about her, when she eats less gluten and certain items, you can tell that the inflammation's gone down. Her joints don't hurt.
Yeah.
Her face is completely clear. Even for, going up to her menstrual cycle, where she didn't even know that she was ready to have her time of the month. But before, it was cramps, it was acne, irritability.
Yeah.
Where it's like, she's starting to understand where it's like, okay, there's a whole science behind this. There's a reason why you should be eating the way you should. And it's because of the way your body interprets it.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, totally.
So it goes back to why we stopped of like, yes, there's going to be days we're traveling for work, or we're doing PMA, or we're doing a produce show. I'm not going to be able to work out 2 times a day.
Right.
So is that automatically removing one of those workouts, going to start compounding day after day to whether it's weight gain, muscle loss, what's it going to be? So I didn't want to get to a point where I was going to hurt myself in the long run. So Susie's a lot better about understanding nutrition. I mean, I get a lot of my information from her because that's what she does.
And speaking of her, definitely recommend following her at Lipstick and Yoga Pants.
Yep.
Definitely recommend following her. She's fun to watch and full of great ideas.
She is. She's a joy to be around. Half the time I have to just absorb everything she says, because it's just, she's a go. She's definitely a driven woman. When it comes to helping other people, she has her purpose. She has her path that she wants to go on.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool to watch her flourish and just grow as being a mom, a wife, and everything. So yeah, she's the one, like I said, I do a lot of what she tells me to do. I'm her guinea pig.
Yeah.
So she showed me, she was kind of explaining to me a couple of days ago of right now I'm in body recomp. I'm fixing my metabolism. I'm fixing, putting skin back where it needs to be. And that's a great thing about my journey is we didn't do it the wrong way. It's not like I crash dieted or I did anything crazy. So losing 60 pounds, I mean, there's no excess skin. There's, you have a few stretch marks just because you get that big, you're going to get that big.
Yeah.
So it's learning that also, that sustainability of, okay, how, we got to this point. How do we make this long-term? So right now I'm in a calorie deficit because I want to get down a little bit less. I don't have a goal weight. Mine's mainly just, you look at your body and you know where you can lose some more weight. Right.
Yep.
So that's my biggest thing. The scale is not my determining factor of where I want to be, but it's the calorie deficit right now to do the body recomp. I need to pretty much start from square one. So I want to see where my muscles can go. I've never worked out with this type of a plan. So it's pretty exciting to see, some more definition that I never had before. So I want to get to a point where I know, okay, you've gained a decent amount of physique, and now it's almost reverse dieting. So let's add 250 calories. See where that takes you. If you're still in losing weight every single day, then you're still at a calorie deficit technically.
Yeah, for your body.
For my body.
Right.
So it's okay, I'm losing some muscle mass, some more weight, let's add another 250. And then you add another 250 week by week to see where you're at.
Yeah.
And then that's how you're able, when you look at the long term, you're able to keep a physique for the rest of your life. And it's pretty amazing just to see the science behind that. And then it's like, okay, if you want to add some treats, which, it's funny that the main reward that a lot of people give themselves is a cheat day.
Right.
Where it's like, it's great. If that's how you think you want to reward yourself with, going to BJ's and getting a bazooki or whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
Just add that into your diet plan for that day. That's fine. You want to eat 1,500 calories in one meal, just lower over here on your breakfast or your lunch.
Yeah.
That's totally fine. Mm-hmm. Just know that, with me, it hurts way more to do that kind of stuff because we had some sour strips the other day and immediately started getting joint pain in my elbow. You feel it.
You're just like, this is not good.
It's not. And it's like, okay, so that 2 seconds of the endorphins that you get in your mind for, your taste buds are happy, you're going to pay for it the next 2 or 3 days.
Yeah.
And that's just, so that's a long term of like where we just look at it and it's like, yes, maybe add in, a cookie here and there to just, if you're at a barbecue or whatever it is, the girl's birthday party, I'm not going to enjoy it. If they want you to try some of their cake or whatever it is, it's fine. But know that for me personally, there's going to be some pain.
Right.
Where it's like I saw it firsthand for not doing it for so long. I mean, technically, even though I stopped the program, I haven't stopped eating the way I need to eat and doing the things I need to do. Yeah. So it's like, I couldn't even tell you the last time we've had a quote unquote cheat meal. But yeah, like I said, we had sour strips the other day. And I was telling her, I got home from work and I'm like, my elbows hurt right now. Not my muscle, it's my joints.
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, my stomach hurts right now. I feel it in my stomach. And I'm like, what, 5 sour strips? Like, that's crazy. It was good.
Right.
Can't deny that. But it's like, so what's...
You got a lot of stuff going wrong in a sour strip.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, there's...
Granted, it was...
everything is in there.
It's a
sugar,
a fitness guy,
food coloring.
Yeah. So
you got it all.
It's a pretty big name in the fitness industry. He created as like a sour strip brand. But yeah, I mean, it's sour strips. It's candy.
Yeah. Right. Totally.
Yeah. So
what does it to me is ice cream.
Ice cream. Yeah.
When I eat ice cream, like for dessert after dinner, I will totally have restless leg syndrome when I'm going to sleep.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because I'm like, I don't have it. And then I rarely eat ice cream. But when I do, now if I eat it during the day, I don't notice it at night. But because I'm moving all day, so I don't notice that feeling. But yeah, I'll lay down at night after ice cream. Didn't happen when I was younger, but now it definitely does. So it's crazy what we put in our body and how it affects it. And, just you're approaching it right. You and Susie are definitely approaching it right, cleaning it up, but finding balance while you're doing it and go in the right direction. Yeah. It's great. I mean, obviously you're going the right direction. Down all these pounds, did it the right way. Your body composition's right. And it is funny, when I don't know how long ago it was, maybe 2 or 3 months ago, you posted like a before and after picture.
Right.
I was like, holy crap. I even told Tammy, I'm like, have you seen his pictures? She's like, I wouldn't recognize him if you walked up today. So it's been crazy to see what you've accomplished.
Well, it's funny too, because, you feel more comfortable wearing tighter clothes and wearing shirts that actually fit. And, even the pants I have now, they're technically stretch pants and they're too big still.
Yeah.
So so it's like, go get some new jeans and that'll completely change. I was actually going to post another photo. This time last year, I took a photo with the girls who were fishing.
Mm-hmm.
And, on the outer level with the Instagram posts and everything, you're living a great life. Everybody can assume that you're happy, but it's like, that was a big eye opener of where I was mentally. I knew where I was mentally.
Yeah.
So it's like, I want to do even in clothes. I mean, it's better to see what's underneath the clothes, but it's like the next photo I post, I'll do a side by side. You'll be amazed. Even then they thought I was fit, but it's like seeing the side by side in clothes.
Yeah.
Where it's like, you could hide it well, but it's like, no.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I think the shirt I had was a 3X. I believe it was a 3X or a 2X. And this is a large.
Yeah. So you definitely...
So it'd be cool to see the side by side.
You have definitely nailed it. That's for sure. And I'm glad you came on to talk about how you did it and
Yeah.
your experience with 75 Hard and your, Susie leading the way now with the fitness program. But before we wrap it up, what's your workout going to be tomorrow?
Tomorrow, so the workout she has me on for the whole, for a week, she has me a 5-day program. Tomorrow, it's pull, I can never say the word, pull hypertrophy. Hypertrophy, I think.
Right.
I don't know. She's the one who tells me. It's a pull day.
Okay, yeah.
It's a pull day. It's lighter weight, more reps.
Yeah. So you're on a push-pull leg routine?
Correct.
Or, yeah.
Yeah, so I'll do I'll pull lightweight, high rep, a push, lightweight, high rep, and then there's a leg, same version. The leg days, high rep, low weight, high rep,
Yeah.
and then I'll do one heavy upper body day, one heavy lower body day, and then 2 days a week trying to do some type of cardio.
Excellent.
So yeah, for the first time ever running around the neighborhood with my shirt off, and some sun. So so I usually try to tie that in.
Love that.
Yeah. So
well, hey man, thanks for coming on.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It was fun.
Great chatting about this.
Yeah.
You look damn good.
Thank you.
Keep it up.
Cool.